Let's see if that works better. Right, okay, sorry about this. The flipping thing was messing me about, so I had to restart it. Are you there, Alan? Have you got me now? So I had to restart the damn thing because it was acting weird. I don't know what the quality's like at the moment, but yeah, I've changed the settings a bit actually. I was playing around with it to try to get settings that wouldn't crash it and all that. And, I'm just going to wait for you to come back. I'm going to make a copy while I'm waiting for this for you to respond. Right, Alan, are you back? Have you got me yet? Is that link the same? Hang on, is that freaking link changed or something? Why does YouTube have to keep changing the blooming link for a live stream? Right. Stupid thing. Freaking thing. It's pausing my virtual machine that messed everything up. Because the swap file started doing overtime. And it hogged everything up. going to have to install that other 64-bit version of Windows XP, I think, on the other partition, and then I can use all my memory. That's what I'm going to have to do. That's probably the next job, but I needed that. When you're back, will you type in the chat, because I'm just waiting. It says extreme health is green. Well, that's good. It's gone yellow, it's got orange again. Oh right, okay, you're there. Well, I think I better not pause the virtual machine because it just messed everything up. Right, what I was trying to explain before is the I've got the well, you can't see much actually. Let me just move the camera a bit. Right, let me just zoom in a minute. I've got the TRIAC. Let me just get it on if I can. There's a TRIAC there, and it's a very, very simple circuit. Right, there's not much to it at all. All there is a trimmer. I've got two wires that come from the coil that's on the end of the system, there on the black and the red lead. The actual signal from that coil is fed through both ends of the trimmer, right? So it's across a 47K trimmer port. The other end, the output end, is connected to the gate of the TRIAC, right? Then I have a jumper lead that goes between one end of the trigger coil, this red lead here, this red wire. I have a jumper lead that goes between, to complete the circuit basically, and that goes between the gate and the trigger coil, right? So that goes through the trimmer as well. Then I've got the in series lead that comes from my output coil that basically, ignore the resistor, that's just there so I could clip some lead onto it. That goes through the gate 1 and gate 2, or you know, or it's called M1 and M2. So that this is the output coil. It goes through the TRIAC through to the other end, to the in series, it's in series with it, and it goes to my output. So when I adjust the pot, we adjust the waveform on the oscilloscope. So now I'm going to point the camera at my oscilloscope so that you can see what's happening, because I don't want to plug the USB in. Oh, we've got light reflection now. Just a minute. Yeah, hang on a minute, I'll just angle the oscilloscope round a bit. That should sort that out. Maybe not. Let me just take the feet, fold the feet up. Right, let me just fold the feet. Right. Right, I'm not plugging the USB in because I don't know if I've got it in the right place. Let me just see. Right, I'm watching a delay on here. Ah! It's because of this delay. Let me just get many come up so I can see what's going on. Right. Okay. Right, now when I adjust the pot, I have gained a lot of RPM, but I've sacrificed a little bit of voltage on the output. So if you look at the, can you see the voltage on there? It's a bit glary. Hang on a minute, I know what might fix that. It's a bit glary, it's a bit, what do you call it, oversaturated or something. Hang on. Maybe this will sort that out. Hang on. Right, can you see that better now? Let me know if you can read the values on there, because I don't want to plug the USB in. It just causes more problems. I mean, the virtual machine might hijack the connection. Right, you can see the voltage on the. All you're interested in is the output, really, of the yellow trace. Now, the yellow trace is being manipulated by the TRIAC. The blue trace is the actual trigger coil. There's no actual current being used on the blue trace apart from the trigger coil. So when I turn the trigger off, you'll see that the output on the yellow trace disappears. Right, so I'm going to turn the trim pot down. Oh, I haven't got my meter on here, so I can't see what's going on. Just a minute. I want it on current. Let me just put this in series with current so I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to disconnect it a minute while I connect the meter in series. Right. Right, now I need to clip that somewhere somehow. Come on, right. I think I turned it off. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Have I got it connected right or what? My meter's acting the goat again. What the hell is going on here? Just a minute. The yellow trace is still on. That shouldn't be the case. There's something weird going on here. Why is the Rotor still on? Just a minute, there's something wrong. Ah, is it grounding through that other coil? That could be what's going on. Hang on. Hang on. I'm just sorting the trigger coil out. What the heck's going on here? Just a minute, I'm grounding it, that's what's going on. I just want the trigger coil. I got a ground short, that's what's going on. Hang on, I can't measure the trigger coil without shorting the bloody thing. Just a minute. So that one's jumpered across to. Oh, that won't work. I can't measure the trigger coil because it's shorting the thing out. Just a minute. Right, I'll just take the blue trigger scope lead off because that's messing everything up. I wonder why it went a bit weird on me. Right, let's connect this in series. Now that's the trigger, that's the output circuit, sorry. That's the output circuit. Now let's turn the trimmer pot down until it disappears. You'll watch the waveform shape. Right, it just went off. Right, let's turn it slowly back up again. You'll see the waveform. Let's turn it full up. Oh, now what's wrong? I think I've gone and destroyed my TRIAC. It's not working the way it was. Oh, maybe it's still working. Right, when I set it to, I can set it lower down. We get about 2 something volts, 2.6. No, it's not working properly now. I had a ground loop. Oh my god, I must have put too much current through it. Flip it, at least I got 20 of the damn things. Yeah, when I put the other scope lead, the ground lead, onto the trigger coil, that would have shorted between, that would have basically put power from the output coil into the gate. Oh, that's probably destroyed it, that's probably what's happened. I think my TRIAC's knackered. Right, let me just hang on a minute, let's read the chat. I don't know where you're talking to me. Right, okay, I'm just checking. Alright, I think my trigger coil is, my TRIAC has got fried, so I've just fried the TRIAC. Now I have to be careful not to put the scope ground lead onto the other trigger coil circuit, because I've basically fed power directly from the output coil, which is about 30 milliamps, into the gate, and I must have destroyed the gate. That's what's probably happened. I'm going to put a different TRIAC in, and we'll see. We'll find out. Soon we'll find out if it's the other one's got napped up, because it's not doing what it's supposed to do now. Right, I'll just take that one out, and sorry, I've got a camera pointing at the thing at the moment. I have to check that on my meter and see what I've done to it, because I've probably destroyed one of. There's two Schmidt thingamajigs, not Schmidt triggers, there's 2 of those, hang on a minute, what have I got running? Oh, that's it, right. Let's get this new one in. Right, let's adjust this till we get a signal. Oh, I haven't got my meter lead on there. Right, let's adjust it. maybe I haven't destroyed the other one because this is doing the same thing now. That's weird. What's going on with it? What did I change? Have I got something in the wrong place? Hang on a minute. That's the date. The output is on there. That one's in series with that one, that's in series with that, that's in series with that. Right, hang on. Let's twiddle this a bit. Well, if I've got the wrong end. Right, you can see that the TRIAC is definitely changing the waveform shape as I adjust it, and I'm trying to get it lower so that my RPM goes up. Right, that's just on the verge of it coming on there. Right, on that at that level, my RPM is up to 655. It's climbing 656, 600 and I'm only actually pulling 4 milliamps out of the output coil at the moment, so let's try it directly because I'm going through a 100 ohm resistor. Oh, that's better. 7.1 milliamps now. Right, so 7 milliamps. Right, let's adjust this. Right, at that point there, oh, I'm actually taking 9 milliamps out now at that point there. I'm taking 7.2 milliamps out at that point, and my RPM is at 653, actually 652, and I'm actually drawing 7 milliamps out of the secondary coil at the moment. Current at 7.3 milliamps, 7.5. It's actually fluctuating. Now, one of the problems I'm noticing, I can't see it now because I've turned the other channel off, but when the TRIAC turns on, it's pretty much staying on even towards the end of the cycle, and the current's got a holding current, actually a holding current of 10 milliamps. Well, so it shouldn't really hold on very long, really. If the current's below 10 milliamps, it should cut off almost immediately as soon as the waveform starts to drop. So in theory, and my RPM is definitely better though, because normally if I take 10 milliamps out of the system per coil, I lose about 20 to 30 milliamps, 20 to 30 RPM I actually lose, but I'm only actually losing about 3 milliamps by sacrificing that, so I actually gain speed, and as it increases speed, the current actually goes up anyway, so it kind of center balances itself. So I need to get this meter permanently connected, because I keep on having to hold it, so just give me a minute. Actually, have I got another clip-on lead somewhere? Just a sec. I need another clip-on lead. Where the heck have I put it? I've got one somewhere around here. Where has it gone? Sorry, give me a minute. I've got these clip-on leads that I'm using nearly all of them. I've just got one somewhere, and I'm trying to get my hands on it. I must be in the other room. I found it. I found it. It was in the bedroom. Right, let me just clip this on properly so we don't have to hold it all the time. It makes life so much easier. I'm gonna bypass this resistor because I lose a bit in that resistor anyway. So. Right, we're clipped on now. I'm seeing 6.5 milliamp, it's dropping a bit, 6.4, 6.5, 6.6, actually it's up and down. Interesting, that's interesting. 6.6, it's going back up again. Huh. Now that's 6.8, it's actually going up, which is great because I want to have more current. And my RPM is at 653, which is really good because you remember I couldn't get my RPM to go up. It was dropping. It was like dropped like a stone to about 610 before, and now this is just one coil. By the way, this is just one coil output. I've got to put two of these TRIACs on. So where's the other TRIAC? There it is. So what I have to do now is connect both the coils. Now there's a problem. I don't have any more leads. I don't have any more clip-on leads. So what I'll have to do is make a circuit board and solder wires onto it and everything, and otherwise, because I just don't have enough leads to do it with. I'm using every one of them. But I'm actually looking at the chat on YouTube right now, so I'm actually looking at the YouTube chat. But basically, to summarise, the circuit works. It actually does work. This idea, this TRIAC, it helps. I might be losing about 3 milliamps, but the speed increases and I gain current as a result of the increase in speed. So whatever I'm losing initially when it's directly connected, I actually gain by the fact that it gains speed, and it basically pumps more current out anyway. So when you put the full load on it, it loses a lot of RPM, and as it's dropping in RPM, I'm losing current. I'm losing voltage and current. I don't know what's the audio sound like anyway, by the way. Let me just check the chat thingy. Yeah. Oh, the problem again? Well, there isn't really a problem. I just haven't got enough leads. I thought there was a problem with the with a short circuit, but I don't think I have got a short circuit. I think the waveform's just, for some reason, it's not doing what it was doing earlier, and I think the reason for it not doing what it was doing earlier is because this supercapacitor is charging up, and as it's charging up, the waveform is changing shape. So I've actually got 10.28 volts in the supercapacitors now. They're actually charging up slowly. What I'll do is I'll put the scope lead back on this other coil right now, because I want to show you there is a slight phase shift between the two coils. Right, so if I clip that back on the other output stage, this blue channel is not going to be the trigger coil anymore, it's going to be the second channel. I'm probably going to have to change the voltage on the scope. Yeah, it's too high. Just a minute. Right. So, oh, that's the, oh, I see. Hang on. The waveform's changed now, look. On the yellow channel. That's weird. That's what it was doing earlier. The little spike in the middle is when it's turned on. That pulse in the center, that tiny little pulse, that little peak, is where the TRIAC is actually taking power from the system. And you can see the waveform of the other output, right, is much wider, and that's the, I'm just taking power at that point in the center of the waveform. Now, why didn't that show up last time? I don't know. It's strange. It's come back again. Now let's twiddle this pot, and you'll see what I'm on about. If I increase the trim pot. I'm taking 9 milliamps out, by the way, at the moment. I've got 9 milliamps coming out of that one coil into the supercapacitors. That's one coil, so don't forget there's two coils, so I'll be actually getting around 20 to 25 milliamps output right now. Let's just trim this pot a bit. Now I'm going to increase the on time so that the TRIAC is on longer. If you watch the pulse, you'll see it's gone wider now. And now I'm actually drawing 14 milliamps now, but my RPM is slowing down a bit. It's dropped to 630, 628, 625, 624, 623. The RPM's dropping. As the RPM drops, my output current drops too. My output current at the moment is 13 milliamps and it's still dropping. Right, so my current output is also dropping and my RPM is dropping. So 621 RPM. My output current at the moment is 15 milliamps. 619 RPM. 618 RPM. It's still dropping. .618 still, its output still at 15 milliamps. 617 RPM now, it's still dropping. Right, so let's back this MOSFET, this TRIAC, sorry, let's back this out again, you'll see what I mean. Let's just reduce the on time. This digital oscilloscope's got a bit of a delay, I need to get it about there somewhere. Right, RPM is going back up. 621. It's at 620. 619. I'm just still pulling 14 milliamps out, 15 milliamps out of the secondary coil though. 618 RPM. Right, let's just drop it. Actually, I need to back it out a bit more. Right, I've dropped the current to 12 milliamps output. So I'm pulling 12 milliamps. Now it's climbing again. It's gone up to 13 milliamps. 13.2, 13.3. That's because the RPM is increasing. 13.4 milliamps. 13.5 milliamps. The speed is 625 RPM. The speed will slowly increase because I'm not taking power when the rotor magnets are on either side of the coil. That's the whole point really. So I'm just mostly taking power when the magnet's directly over the coil, which means there's going to be less drag. because it's like a ball flying over the top of your head. There's not much force being exerted laterally. Most of the forces are basically vertically, if you know what I mean, if you've got something over your head. Right, 625 RPM, output current is 13.6 milliamps, so it's actually going up. So this circuit does work, it does actually help. And there's a reason why I have to use a separate trigger coil. Using a separate trigger coil is because if I was using the same coil that I was loading down, then when you load the coil down, the voltage on that coil would drop, and as it would drop, it would also affect the settings. So you would have to constantly adjust the adjustment on the trimmer pot based on what load you were putting on the coil. But because I'm actually using the trigger coil, which is between the rotor magnets, which is directly next to the rotor magnets, because it's a separate coil and it's not actually being loaded with anything, it's not got any kind of a load on it, it's a more stable output for the trigger circuit. So when I put a load on the output coil, it doesn't affect the trigger coil, if you see what I'm getting at. So it's an independent circuit. The only thing that's really connected on the trigger coil to the output coil is just one loop through the gate of the TRIAC. So the gate has to basically have a lead to complete the circuit, has to on the M1 or M2 pins of the TRIAC. One of those pins has to be also connected to the output coil, and it has to be connected to the trigger coil. So there's other things I can try, depending on which side of the coil the M1 or M2 is connected of the trigger coil. It would probably do different things, which is obviously what other things I need to experiment with at the moment. But for now, I'm quite happy with the fact that when I get this set in between, get it set in such a way that I'm getting an intermediate current, my RPM is actually climbing, because as it climbs my current goes up anyway. So it kind of centers itself. If you see what I'm saying. So the blue channel is the other coil that's not modified. There's no MOSFET on that coil. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to disconnect the output on the second channel so we can actually see how much RPM this my supercapacitor voltage is now at 10.38, by the way. So if I disconnect this other output circuit on this that I'm not using, you'll see the reading disappear. Right. Now I want to find out how much RPM I can get just on one coil that's being controlled by the TRIAC. So what I'm doing is I'm disabling the load on the other coil on the blue channel so that I can get a truer reading on RPM and current output on the yellow channel, or channel 1. Right, so I'm just going to, it's climbing, it's at 693 RPM right now. We're nearly at 700 RPM right now. The output current is climbing, it's about 8 milliamps output. It seems to be self-stabilizing actually for some reason. Let me just back this trigger. I mean, no, actually I'll increase the trigger point a bit. Right, well, let's set it at 9 milliamps if I can. Oh, that's weird. That's very strange. weird little waveform that I was talking about in the middle has disappeared on me again. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. And all I've done is disconnect the other output coil. That is really strange. How the hell can that... That's not a separate circuit. That is a completely separate circuit. The other coil, secondary coil, is a completely different circuit. Yet when I took the ground lead off it, my speed's at 708 RPMs right now. Let me just connect it again. Ah, it's back again, look. What the hell's going on with that? Green wire, where are you going? Green wire, that's that coil. And yellow wire, that's that coil. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this, because that shouldn't be changing that shouldn't change that channel at all. Oh, that's weird. I'm at 700 RPM right now, but yet my current on the output of the other coil has dropped. Oh, I don't get it at all. Hang on, let me just put the other output back on again. Huh. That is weird. And my current on the other channel's gone up. It's gone up to 10 milliamps. Oh, hang on a minute, the full wave rectifier circuit. Yeah, there must be something going through the circuit that's affecting the TRIAC. Sorry, I keep saying MOSFET, but it must be affecting the TRIAC. But my output current on the first channel has gone back up to 9 milliamps. And my speed's dropping to 647. 640. This is so weird, actually. It's doing my head in. All I can assume is that somehow power is going through the full wave bridge rectifier circuit and looping back somehow. Right, let me just adjust this TRIAC again let me just trim this a bit. Right, I've turned it off. So the second channel, the blue channel, is on by itself. Let's adjust the trimmer again. Right, let's bring this up to 10 milliamps on the output. I'm at about actually 13 milliamps there. I'll leave it at 13 milliamps on that output coil. This is so bizarre. Let me just go and check chat because just give me a sec. Yeah, gremlins, yeah, it could be. Right, okay, I'm probably going to end the stream because I've got some thinking to do. Yeah, it's too much straight feedback. these TRIACs are extremely sensitive. They don't require much power at all to trigger them. It's a very small amount of current to trigger them, but once they're triggered, the holding current is the only thing that keeps them on. And the holding current for these particular TRIACs, that is the amount of current flowing through them between M1 and M2, is 10 milliamps. If the current through the TRIAC drops below 10 milliamps, it disengages and basically just turns the power off, unless the gate is still actively keeping the TRIAC turned on. So if the voltage gets to a certain point on the gate of the TRIAC, now let me see if I can find you the PDF actually for this, because my stream health is red again. I don't know why, because I'm not moving anything around. Let's check my bandwidth. My bandwidth output is about 100 kilobytes a second. It should be alright. I don't know what's going on there, but it's up and down. Mind you, I am on. Anyway, I'm just going to try and find the PDF of this track so you can read about it. Just a minute. Where's my? Let's see where I'll put it. Oh, the best way of finding it is to open my PDF reader, look in the history, and then use that save as link. I'm sure I could get the name out of there. Let's check my memory. 193 megabytes, but my neck. My speed is at 625 now, so that's, yeah, it's just weird actually. What's happened to it? Where is it? Where is this PDF? Oh, that's not it. Oh, I'm going to have to find it on the internet. I thought I'd downloaded it. Just a minute. Here by date. I think I found it. Yeah. That's the one. stupid thing. Flipping blocked. I hate that website. So this is, I'll stick it in the YouTube chat. That's the one. So the YouTube chat, I've posted the link to that particular TRIAC that I'm using. So it's worth you having a look at that really, because you've got to understand there's semiconductors that are DC components that work on DC, but the TRIACs work on AC. So they conduct in both directions. So they've basically got, like, it's like having two transistors inside them back to back basically, but they're not using transistors though, they're using what do you call them? What we call them now? I can't see very well right now. I need to put my glasses on cleaning. But yeah, it's like there's two diodes basically, but they're triggered. You know, they've got gates to trigger them, to turn them on and off. And it's a very useful device. It doesn't have a lot of current. It's got a very high voltage that can run up to 600 volts. What makes it really special is the fact that you can run it at low voltages too, but it doesn't carry a lot of current. It's around 700 milliamps maximum, but that's more than what I'm going to need it for right now anyway, because I'm working with below 200 milliamp ranges on the input power to the motor, and plus the output coils. The maximum output power that I've seen so far on my output coils altogether combined is around 40 milliamps. So I've got no chance of blowing it up, absolutely no chance. Even if it's short circuited, I wouldn't blow it up. So I was a bit surprised earlier on when I thought I'd damaged it, because I thought, what the heck's happened here? You know, I put my probe leads off the oscilloscope on two of the on the trigger coil circuit and on the output coil circuit, and I thought I must have shorted power across through the gate and blown it, but I hadn't. It was just weird stuff going on, gremlins, just strange things going on. But yeah, look, there's got to be an explanation. The only thing that's common on my circuit, the only thing that connects the two output coils, secondary output coils, together, the only thing, common denominator between the two, is either the oscilloscope leads, which can be the ground leads, which can be crossing them across. So I could have a direct link through those, right? Or the actual full wave bridge rectifiers, and there's actually 6 bridge rectifiers. I'm only using 2 of them. So the full wave rectifiers are connected, but in theory nothing should be able to get back through the diodes anyway to cause me any problems. But yet there is something going on, something very, very strange going on, because when I disconnect the second channel, the blue channel, which is what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to disconnect the top, the middle probe. That's not the middle probe, it's definitely the ground probe that's causing the problem, because look, if I take the ground lead for the second channel, the blue channel, off the second output coil, my yellow channel changes, and that shouldn't be going on, that shouldn't happen. I don't know why. Oh, actually it doesn't do it when I connect it to the other coil. Now that's strange even. It's even more strange. So it depends on which output coil I'm connected to. Let's put it back on the other one there. Right. Now let's adjust this trimmer with but my current output's gone down. What the hell? Alright, right, so let me just adjust this. Let's just see if I can let's turn this trimmer down and see if I can reset it. My current's just disappearing to nothing now. This is so bizarre. I've turned it flat out now. Okay, I need a pull down resistor on the gate. That's probably what I need. Let's find something. Maybe that's what I need. There's something weird going on with it. I'm going to find myself a 10 mega ohm. Let's see, what's this? 10 meg, that's 10 meg. Let's stick a 10 mega ohm resistor on the gate between. Right. I'm sorry you can't see what I'm doing, but you're not missing much. Let's see, is that the output? I don't want to short that with that. Let's connect that between there and there. Right, that's pulled it off, turned it off effectively. I want to be, just a minute. I want to get this set right so that it works without me having to have that other scope lead on there, because it's not working obviously properly if the scope lead has to be on it. So I'm trying to basically simulate that effect. Right, I'll put that resistor in. Let's adjust this again. Right, let's trim this and we should get. No, still not right. Right, that's a 10 mega ohm resistor, so I need to go lower. I think I've got a 10k something. It looks like 11k actually. Weird. Let's trim it again. Well, alright, let's connect that 10k to directly to there. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let's trim it a bit. Yeah. No, it just goes off quick. It just goes off suddenly. That's no good. I don't want that. I'm going to reverse this TRIAC. I'm just going to take it out and turn it around. But you can reverse them, you see. Oh, there we are, it's back. Oh, mind you, I've got the lead clipped onto the... right, I have to disconnect the ground lead off the other output because it's interfering again. Right, I've disconnected the other output stage. Let's trim it again. It's definitely feeding back into the other circuit. That's weird, I can't turn it off now. What the heck? It's staying on all the time. Just a minute. That's weird. Right, I'm in the middle there and the current's dropped right off. And as I turn it, current goes up. That's for the clockwise. This is weird. Turn it to the middle and the current output drops to nil. Turn it past the middle point, anti-clockwise, and the current comes back again. So we have this, but the waveform's not changing. What the hell's going on? The waveform's not changing at all. Yet when I turn it, just a minute, let's check this a minute. Oh, I've got current going into the ground. That's why I'm in series with the ground circuit. Oh, okay. So instead of putting the current into the ground of the oscilloscope, which is probably what's causing my problem. Right, let's swap these around. I think I figured out what's going on now. Let's just undo that. Let's put the one end of that coil directly to the ground lead, which is not in series with the TRIAC. Let's put the other end to the centre probe of the oscilloscope. Now that should sort all these problems out, hopefully. Right, let's trim this again. Now I've got nothing. Now I've got absolutely nothing. This is weird. No output at all now. Just a minute. I could move the camera over here, but it's more interesting to see what's going on the oscilloscope. Trust me. All I'm doing is fiddling with wires at the moment. Right, let me just twiddle this again. Oh, what the heck? Well, I've got nothing at all. Alright, I've got 12, 13, 14 milliamps there now. Let's turn it. Tweak it, tweak it, tweak it. Alright, I am seeing a change on the oscilloscope now. Now, that's interesting. Our current's disappeared to virtually nothing there. Oh, right, let's turn it to... I'm getting 14 milliamps now, which is better than before. Let's turn this on up to about 10 milliamps again. be about 12 actually, because my RPM's well, about 10. Right, I'm at 12 milliamps output now. So I've tweaked it for 12 milliamps. Let's see if my RPM goes up. 636 RPM right now, it's not changing. Has my stream died on me? It looks like it has. I'm just refreshing my page. The Adobe is still going. It must be still going. It says 3:30. Yeah, the clock's right, so it must be still going. 3:30 AM. So yeah. Right, 6:36. Sorry, 6:32 RPM right now. Alright, I've changed the configuration so that we're no longer using the ground line on my oscilloscope as the measured current load through the MOSFET, the TRIAC, not MOSFET, the TRIAC T-gate, right? So I should be able to put the other lead back onto the other circuit now, and we should no longer have any interference. Right. But we do have interference. This is really strange. No matter which one I put it on as well. I'll put the oscilloscope ground lead onto either of the other two coils and the waveform changes. And this doesn't make sense at all. So either one of them. It's definitely going through these bridge rectifiers. That's the only explanation I can think of. Anyway, I'm just going to have to ignore that problem for now because it's something to do with the bridge rectifier circuit. It's bizarre because the other coils, output coils, are completely separate, and the only thing that's of course this feedback is going all the way through that coil now, and it's coming out the other end of the winding. It's still going through there, it's just taking a longer path. Right, so if I just I'm going to have to connect my other probe up. I have to do because I want to see what's going on with it. Weird, it's on the blue trace as well. Oh no, it isn't. Hang on a minute, let me just trim it a minute. No, it's under load. Just a sec, let's turn the current down. Right, this is strange. Right, I've got no current output on that TRIAC now. Well, it's affecting the blue. It's affecting the blue as well. How the hell? This is getting beyond a joke now. It's actually affecting the blue channel as well as the yellow channel. Look, the blue's changing as well. It shouldn't change. I am now seeing 20 milliamps through my meter. And my RPM is at 622 and falling. 619 RPM. Still dropping. 2 AM. Oh, it's 2 minutes behind. Oh, I'm lagging, that's why. Let's go forward. Right. Okay, that's better. My stream was way behind. 3:34, that's the right time. Right, so I'm at 614 RPM, so right, I've got my lag problem back again, so let's adjust this and get it down to 12 milliamps. there where I'm at 12, well it's dropped actually, yeah it's 12 milliamps on that coil, and the RPM's climbing 630 and climbing still. Well, you know, this is really, really strange. I don't get it. I don't quite figure it out, but 631 RPM. You see, the coil. I'm just thinking of myself actually. The coil on the first channel is connected to that green lead. Let me just make sure I've got the right lead. The green lead goes up to that coil, and it comes back down the white lead. The white lead connected to M1. Speeds it's at 660 RPM now. Oh, my con's just disappeared. What have I done? I'll just pull the wire off. Oh yeah, I have. I just knocked a wire. I'm just going to disconnect this. I don't know what's going on here. And the yellow lead is going through the meter. Oh, mind you, the meter's close to everything. Let me move the meter over the other side of the room. I might be getting some kind of crosstalk problem, I don't know. Crosstalk could be affecting the scope, but I don't see really how it... No, it's not that. It's the same. Just the same. Yeah, well, I'm just going to disconnect the other scope lead again. The blue one. Come off, you bugger. I'm knocked a wire again. Ah. Damn it. Stay on. Let's take this lead off here. Huh, weird stuff going on here. Oh, damn it. What's going on now? Oh, I've knocked the ×1 switch. Oops. Hang on. Let's just twiddle this again. Why is it affecting the blue channel? It shouldn't affect the blue channel. trigger lock now, what's interesting. Who figured it out? Oh no, you're right, Alan, I'm going in circles. Yeah, okay, I'm going to take a break. Alan's right. Take a break. I'll have a think about it because I have got interference. And when you've got interference in the circuit, you've got to eliminate it. So I've got to figure out what the interference is. I think I have an idea what it could be, but I need to have a think about that. So yeah, anyway, the stream's acting weird now, so it's gone red on me. The quality seems to have gone down. I can't flicker or minimise this window. Oh, come on. Stupid box. Alright, that's it for now, folks.